The people are so warm. Even if your Spanish is horrible, the fact that you're attempting to speak it, they're going to have a big smile on their face. So they're so warm and welcome.
That is the visa that women I hear people over and over talk about the benefits of it. You don't specifically hear people talking about the benefits of visas. You hear them talking about the benefits of being in a country or what they like about a country. But the pensionados be like, yeah, girl, let me show you what's in my wallet.
And it was like each time I went, the feeling was stronger that this could be a place that I could see myself living for the next, who knows, 10, 15 years.
I'm not watching my back here like I was back home. Right. You know, we joke about it, but it's not funny. There was a lot of trauma that I didn't realize I was experiencing in the US until I moved here.
In Panama, oh my God, having been there 6 months, it is true what they say. Doctors sit and talk to you for an hour and a half. They give you their cell numbers after they do a procedure. Tell me how you feel. And every American is like, what? He gave me his cell phone number? And everything is much more affordable.
There's a welcoming community here. Like I said earlier, no place is perfect. But if you're looking for, good food, warm weather, good healthcare, reasonable accommodations, good people, then, hey, Panama might be the place for you.
We are going to talk about a place that I think you probably are already interested in hearing about. We're going to talk about Panama. We're going to talk about being a Black woman expat in Panama. Welcome to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel.
My name is Mary Goff, and I am retired, a government worker for like about 32 years. After I attended the Exodus Summit in 2021, I was like, let's just go to Panama and see what it's going to be about.
How is your life different as a retiree in Panama?
I was telling someone the other day that I have socialized here more in this 1 year than 6 years living in Myrtle Beach. I mean, I have this large community of sisters, and that we're all of the same mindset, maybe because we're not living in the States, I guess, but the sisterhood is just like so strong here. And I feel totally comfortable. I feel welcome here. The people are very welcome. I blend in. I mean, they think I'm Panamanian, which my Spanish is not that great, which I'm gonna work on that because I've always wanted to learn Spanish. So I'm gonna commit myself to work on that. But I feel accepted. I feel safe. I feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know it's not for everybody, because there's no perfect place but for me, for now, for the friendships that I've developed here, I love my lifestyle because you can, depending on your budget, you can live however you want to live. Black Women Expats in Panama. It's a Facebook community. We have over about 1,200 members right now. And there are people that live here, people that are visiting, and also people that want to learn about Panama. We have events, monthly events. We also have weekly, meetups. We're going to be starting Girl Trek. We're also just starting a Sisterhood Watch. Our Sisterhood Watch program is for kind of like a buddy system, where you'll be assigned someone to check on every week. Sometimes people do better in groups, and sometimes people want to meet on a smaller level. So we want to meet all the needs of the women in our community. So we're doing all kinds of stuff, and we're all about sharing resources because what we've learned since we've been here, we want to share with the next person. So we're really big on helping each other out.
A lot of times we hear people say, I can't move abroad because what if something medical happens to me? What if I need, and I'm not near my family?
And that's where the Sisterhood Watch came up. Because, we've had a couple of people that had some medical issues lately. I'm not a part of it, but there's an expat service where you can pay a fee for a year. Mm-hmm. And I think they act like sort of like a 911, in between the 911 and you. But I think we're going to give the women a little comfort. I personally check on people. I have a couple of people that I just check on just because I know that they're not on Facebook that often. We have a lot of women, I'm finding out, that are like in their early 60s or late 60s that are moving to Panama, and they're moving here by themselves too. So we want to make sure that we're, reaching out to them and making sure they're comfortable as well.
It goes back to another point. We hear people talk about how hard it is to make friends as an adult. Move abroad.
Yes.
Move
Yes.
abroad.
It is very hard. Yes. In the
Move
States.
abroad,
yes.
and you will have new friends in a week. A week.
I have almost too many friends. I mean, I like turn down social invites because I don't want to be out the house every day. We have a mixture. I mean, we have women, we have families that are here now. We have retirees, we have husbands and wives that are here. I have friends of all of those varieties. I have retiree friends, I have single friends, I have married friends. Have people with families. A lot of the people with family have online jobs. They're coming here with jobs already. There are some people that I know that are teaching at a local school. That's a local job that you can have. But most of the people are either retired or already have jobs before they come here.
Can we talk a little bit about cost of living for you? How does it compare to, are you living on the same, like a different percentage than you lived on in the US?
For me personally, I would say it would definitely a different percentage because my cost of living was higher because I had more expenses. Okay, so we had a bigger house and stuff like that. Some people say Panama is expensive. Okay, so I think it depends on where you come from, and it also depends on your budget. Because, I have friends that are, paying $750 for an apartment, and I have people that are paying over $3,000. It is humid. Yes, it is extremely humid, but I don't know if my body is adapting to it. I guess it is. No one's out in the middle of the day, okay, unless you just need to be. So I'm either walking early in the morning or later in the afternoon. But yeah, it is hot here. It's very hot.
Hot like what? Give us some numbers.
I mean, because the humidity is so high because it can feel like right now it's really nice because the mornings are like in the 70s. The mornings are beautiful in the mornings, okay? But in the afternoons, I guess it can get like in the 80s and the 90s, but that's really not the temperature. It's that humidity. I mean, you walk outside and in 5 minutes, you're like sweating. I've had a physical here for $60. And that $60 physical was more thorough than any other physical I've had in my entire life, actually. I've never had such a personal conversation with a doctor. One of the things that I like here about Panama is that you get your doctor's phone number. So you're having a conversation with them before you even get to the actual office. You're not talking to the receptionist, you're talking directly with the doctor. And they still do house calls. I've known some people that have had doctors come to their apartments. So matter of fact, you can get anything done at your apartment here in Panama.
Gotta love that life. What are the things about Panama that made you say, for right now, this is
I can live within my budget. Okay. Very nicely. I've never had a private trainer before, always wanted one. So I can get little niceties that I didn't have before. I guess the lifestyle, because my building comes with, of course, it's safe and secure. It comes with security. I have restaurants in my building. If I don't want to go out to eat, I can just walk downstairs or I can catch the elevator and go to a restaurant. The people are so warm. Even if your Spanish is horrible, the fact that you're attempting to speak it, they're going to have a big smile on their face. So they're so warm and welcome. Now, I might have had a few small little negative experiences, but the positives outweigh the negatives, okay? And the people that I've met here, the community that I've built here, I didn't have that back in the States. And the fact that I have this group that kind of like just put their arms around me and embrace me, I haven't had that in a very long time. Probably since I left the military. It's been years since I had decent female relationships. And at this age in my life, this stage, that's very important to me.
Are there any misconceptions about living in Panama that people have that you'd like to clear up?
You see those ads where, hey, you can live here and have a whole bunch of stuff for, $1,000 a month. Yes, you can probably live here, but you're just going to have to, be budget conscious. You're not going to be eating out every week. You need to be realistic when you come here as far as what things cost. And if you're trying to duplicate your exact life, because a lot of people are, they want the same brands. They want, and you can find some of that stuff here, but I prefer to go with the stuff that I don't know. For one thing, it's going to be more cost effective. Your money's going to go a whole lot further. So don't try to duplicate your life here. Yes, it can be done, but why, if you're going to try to duplicate your life, why even come? There's a welcoming community here. Like I said earlier, no place is perfect, but if you're looking for, good food, warm weather, good healthcare, reasonable accommodations, good people, then hey, Panama might be the place for you.
We are joined today by Maggie, who's going to talk to us about her retirement and her adventures.
Well, I'm a registered nurse, an advanced practice nurse, and I retired a couple of years ago. I am Haitian born. I've been in the States since I was 18. I had visited Panama, I think, in 2017. And then I went back in 2018, and it just felt really good, but it wasn't like a trip to figure out if I wanted to retire there. I wanted to see the canal. That's the only way I got into Panama. And it just felt really good. And then I was like, oh, I really love Panama. So I made another trip. And it was like each time I went, the feeling was stronger that this could be a place that I could see myself living for the next, who knows, 10, 15 years. The food was amazing. The freshness of everything. The infrastructure was pretty good. So I was like, okay, check, check, check. But my list of retirement places it was a place that I should feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I felt comfortable in Panama. And then I said, I need to find a place where I could comfortably retire, a place where I can build community, that I'm not going to be the first person to be there, but there's a community I can tap into. And that was there in Panama. I'm a nurse practitioner. I know what goes on in our healthcare system and how broken and inequitable. You guys know the whole stories here. In Panama, oh my God, having been there 6 months, it is true what they say. Doctors sit and talk to you for an hour and a half. They give you their cell numbers after they do a procedure. Tell me how you feel. And every American is like, what? He gave me his cell phone number? And everything is much more affordable. If you want to just have like a checkup or a normal, regular, yearly stuff, everybody pays out of pocket for it. Yeah. Even though you could have some kind of insurance plan. A lot of expats go to private hospitals where they have to pay cash, give a credit card, but you could go to the public hospital and pay next to nothing. This person just had his appendix taken out, and he went to the public hospital and paid $390 for like a 3-4 day hospital, including doctors, x-rays.
Wow.
You were like, sign me up. So it started to check off all the boxes that were important to me. So I made 3 trips. And then the 4th trip, I said, oh, let me start my residency process. And again, through the groups, they hook you up with an attorney. It was bam, bam, bam. Boom, it was done. I rented an apartment and I have contacts there. I made a good friend there. So there is nothing about Panama I don't like. Knowing myself, I don't see myself as a pioneer. I want to enjoy myself, but I don't want to rough it out. When you go to Panama, 70+% of the population is brown. So even though they're mestizos, which means they're a mixture of European, indigenous, a lot of Caribbean people there. So they may look like us, but the hair texture might be different, right? So that alone makes you feel comfortable. You don't feel like you're sticking out. Right. The other thing people talk about in Panama is that the police are everywhere, but they're so friendly. You don't feel like every time you see somebody and you tense up. We don't have that in Panama. There are no Karens in Panama. So that creates an environment where you can let your hair down. Because if I'm going to retire, I need to feel comfortable. If I'm walking down the street, I don't have to worry. Even though I got pickpocketed.
Oh no.
So that's why when people say, oh, there's no crime in Panama, and I'm like, don't say that. Don't say that. Because it's not utopia. I was in that honeymoon. Oh,
too free.
Too free. And
Yeah.
then, yep, they took all my credit card, drew my bank account. I was like, so I did a
Wow.
video about that, and I said, don't do what I did. Use your crossbody, keep your everything
Mhm.
close to you. I had a backpack,
Okay.
and they unzipped it and got it.
As a medical professional, you
Mhm.
talked about the expensive healthcare and the availability, but I want to check in on the quality as well.
Excellent, excellent. A
Okay.
lot of the private hospitals are affiliated with U.S. hospitals. A lot of the doctors there have trained in the U.S. And you may think about the public hospitals that the quality of care is lower. It's not, because even though they may be in a private hospital setting, they're required by law to work maybe 1 or 2 days a week in a public hospital just
Okay.
to make things equitable.
Oh,
Yes. So I was looking at some data. I mean, Panama spends about $1,200 a year per resident. America, we spend like 10,000, and our health is no better. Panama's health ranks higher than health in the U.S.
Yeah.
All that fresh air, all the fresh vegetable, that doesn't mean the diet is that good. All that fried food is
Fried
there.
stuff, yeah.
do you have private insurance?
No, because I turned 65 last month and I have Medicare.
Okay. And
And
then
then, yeah, Medicare is not accepted as we know it here. But if you go on a Medicare Advantage plan, if you go to those private hospitals, you pay and then you submit a claim to your insurance company.
I didn't know that was possible. That is?
Oh, it is. It
Okay.
is. Yep.
Okay.
But some people get what we call a catastrophic plan.
Mhm.
Which means if you break a leg, and people that's happened to them, then they can go to the hospital with that plan. It's not for preventative care.
Mhm.
It's for like if something happens to you, and then they'll, medevac you back to the U.S.
Mhm.
So you can pay for that. But I'm talking about $130 a month. It's not that expensive.
We're talking to Aisha today. So welcome.
Hello, my name is Aisha. I am from New York City, born and raised, first generation from Senegal and second generation from Jamaica and Panama. I am 48 years old and I quit my executive job at 46. And 3 days later, I moved to Panama and I've been here for a year. In the US, I may not have gone to the happy hour. I was too tired,
Mhm.
right? I may not have been able to afford to go whale watching and this and that, but here I can do it all if I choose to.
Had you considered another country besides Panama?
Yes, I actually considered Senegal, Jamaica, and then really I was like, I didn't want to learn French. I wasn't ready for Jamaica. And then I was actually really looking at the Bahamas. And then I started researching Panama, and I was just like, oh, they have an easy residency process. And oh, it's not that far from Houston. Oh, XYZ. And it just rolled the red carpet out for me. Things just happened so smoothly. It was just like I was meant to be here. I'm not watching my back here like I was back home. We joke about it, but it's not funny. There was a lot of trauma that I didn't realize I was experiencing in the US until I moved here. When I first moved here, I heard fireworks and I was like, I thought there were gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, now it's like, oh, it's fireworks. People don't even jump. I would never sit with my back to the door. Now I don't care. And I'm not saying I'm not paying attention, but it's not with the level of fear.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like I belong here. Like no one's told me to go back to the US. I just feel embraced here.
Mm-hmm.
Even with cerebral palsy, people aren't really staring at me like they were in the US here.
Okay.
It's almost like you're treated like a human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest difference for day-to-day life. So it's like, we're looking into getting a driver, a personal trainer comes to my apartment. I have like unobstructed water views of the Panama Bay. I'm just getting more pampered and there's more self-care that I'm honing into that I just wouldn't be able to afford in the US.
How did having cerebral palsy play into your decision to move abroad?
The only thing was access to health care. And so there isn't a lot of research or data on aging with cerebral palsy. There aren't a lot of people that have it, and they tend to just focus on children with it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was like, well, when I was looking at Panama, I was like, well, they don't have ADA standards here
Mm-hmm.
at all. Like to me, a sidewalk step might be like to the height of my knee.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my leg up that high. So I'm scanning to see where the sidewalk goes down. I was like, okay, I'll walk over there and get up there. Or they don't have ramps at a lot of the docks here. Like when we went whale watching, it wasn't easy for me to get back on the boat. It's not friendly, but it's manageable. And I didn't want that to stop me from living a dream. They pull out their card. They're like, here's my pensionado.
Because that pensionado, let's explain to people what that means. So they get a card, like, the green card or whatever, but it gives them access to just a whole bunch of
on like airfare, meals, prescriptions, hotels. It goes on and on. I didn't even learn the list because it wasn't applicable, and I didn't want my head to grow.
And that visa isn't difficult to get, right?
No, that one is just relatively easy, and I have a streamlined process for that. Like it's just people.
That is the visa that women I hear people over and over talk about the benefits of it. You don't specifically hear people talking about the benefits of visas. You hear them talking about the benefits of being in a country or what they like about a country. But the pensionados be like, yeah, girl, let me show you what's in my wallet.
And they have different lines for them, like at the bank or like you get to go first. When I tell you, you can be treated like a human here.
Wait, they have pensionado lines?
Yes.
I think it's the one. I don't know. I think not that it's the one, but it's an overlooked. I think it's a place that I particularly on my YouTube channel have overlooked. But I'm about to fix that. Okay. Okay. So what women love is why Panama. So one thing that women love is that visa. Another thing that women love is the good health care that you get in Panama. Have you had any like experience in the healthcare system?
Yes. So maybe my third week here, I was having some stomach issues. They weren't going away. So I called someone and they sent a doctor to my house on a Friday evening. Like they didn't care it was Friday. They didn't care it was rush hour. Came to my house and guess how much it cost? This is a home visit.
Okay, wait. Home visit. Doctor came to your house. Okay.
On a Friday, rush hour.
$250.
60.
A licensed doctor?
Yeah.
Not like a
Trained in at LSU.